okay? First, I'm going to pretend that this is the barbell that I'm going to be using. So before you start benching, I just kind of want to go over a few points. First, you're going to take the stick, and what you're going to do is you're going to extend it straight. Okay, you're going to have the wrists are going to line up over the shoulders. Okay, and from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bring it down to the chest as if you were doing a bench press. Okay, so as you come down, I want you to keep the wrist stacked over the elbows, like so. And notice how when I press, it actually comes into an angle. Okay, so when you start, the wrist, elbows are all going to be in line with the shoulders. As you come down, the wrist needs to stay over the elbow. Okay, so it's going to be almost like an angle. Okay, like so. Okay, you don't want to bring it down to the chest because what happens is your joints are no longer stacked. The only other way you could do that is if you flare your elbows out, which is going to place a lot of pressure on your shoulders. So to make sure the joints are stacked, wrist, elbow comes into that angle, okay? Alright, so after you get that concept, the next concept you're going to do is you're actually going to pull the stick apart. While maintaining the pressure in the stick, you're going to bring it down to the chest and press up, okay? So it's going to look something like this. So you're going to pull, keep tension as you bring it down to the chest and as you press. Keep in mind, the joints need to be stacked and you need that angle that I want over, okay? And the last thing I'm going to add is the shoulder retraction. So not only are you going to keep the joints stacked, you're going to pull the stick apart, and now you're going to retract the shoulders and keep them retracted the entire time. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. So you're going to stack the joints, pull the stick, shoulder blades together, keep that tension, bring it down, and then press while keeping the shoulders together. We'll try that again. Okay, and I'll show you from the side here. Okay, joints are stacked, pull the stick, shoulder blades are together. You're not shrugging, you're just retracting the shoulder blades. Keep that tension the entire time. Excellent. So practice that because that's what we're going to be doing on the barbell. Now that you've had enough practice with the stick or shovel or broomstick, we're going to do the same thing on the bench, okay? So when you start, you're actually going to start with the eyes directly under the bar. And the reason you want to do that is because when you press in that angle, okay, if you pick it up and you're not directly under the bar, you're going to actually hit the pins as you press, okay? So you're going to set up with the eyes under the bar. Okay, I gotta slide that up a bit. You're gonna get your grip width, should be a little bit wide. For me, it's a little bit wider than shoulder width. Everybody's gonna vary a little bit. Okay. You're gonna unrack the bar. From here, you're going to bring the shoulders together, which is going to give you a thoracic extension. You're gonna pull the bar apart. You're gonna bring it down to the chest. And then you're going to come up, okay? Keep the shoulders together. You see a lot of the times when people press, they'll flatten out the back and they'll reach forward. That actually is going to create more joint instability. So you want to make sure the shoulders are packed. You want to pull the bar apart, bring it down to the chest, and then back up. Alright, eyes on the bar, pull the bar apart, shoulders together, down to the chest, and then back up, okay? Once you can do that perfectly 5 times, we'll add 1 extra cue into the mix, and it's going to be to squeeze your glutes. While keeping in mind, ripping the bar apart, shoulders together, bringing it down, making sure the joints are stacked. You're going to be squeezing your glutes the whole time this time, okay? The eyes under the bar, unrack it. Shoulders together, rip the bar apart. You're going to squeeze the glutes. Keep that body tight. Keep the shoulders together. Bring it down. Keep the shoulders packed. And then back up. Okay, make sure you're squeezing the glutes. Ripping the bar apart. Pressing up in an angle. And then rack it. Okay? Now if you're doing that and you lose shoulder retraction, squeezing the butt, if that throws you off, don't even worry about that, because the most important part right now is that thoracic extension, which is bringing the shoulder blades back together, which will produce that thoracic extension. Okay? The last cue I'm going to add in, once you have mastered the shoulders together, packing them as you press, and once you have mastered squeezing the glutes, you'll add leg drive into the mix, okay? And all that leg drive is almost like a quad extension as you're pressing. So, eyes under the bar, unrack it, shoulder blades together, rip the bar apart, squeeze the glutes, drive through the feet, keep that body tight, touch, press up. You want to try to bust those toes through the shoes actually. Keep that body nice and tight. Good. So those feet don't move. Okay, but you really want to drive into the ground, driving those feet up. Take your time with this. Start with a weight that you can do for 5 repetitions and then build up from there. But practice those cues. You can practice those cues with just the empty bar. You can practice them standing with the stick. You can practice laying down with the stick, okay? The more you practice this, the better and the tighter you're going to become, and the better of a bench presser you'll be.